Singapore is one of the most popular travel destinations for Indians, known for its stunning skyline, efficient public transport, with incredible food scene. With a significant Indian community and deep cultural ties, it feels both familiar and exciting. But did you know that Singapore has some of the strictest customs and immigration rules in the world? In this video, I'll walk you through the things you should never carry to Singapore to avoid fines, trouble at the airport, or even being denied entry. So before we get started, as you can see on my screen, 98% of you who are watching my channel are non-subscribers. So kindly hit the subscribe button and support my channel. As you know guys, Singapore is one of the hottest destinations for Indians, even though you need a prior visa. We know that Thailand, Dubai, Malaysia is very famous with Indians. Similarly, Singapore ranks the same when it comes to most number of tourists from India to Singapore. Like I said, even if you need a visa, there are lots of travelers to Singapore from India. So let's understand these 6 things that you should never carry to Singapore in your luggage, or be it at Singapore carrying with you on you. So the first thing that you should never ever kind of carry with you is chewing gums. Chewing gums are banned in Singapore from 1992. They stopped import and they stopped manufacturing. If you are caught with chewing gums, even during transit for that matter, let's say you're going from Bangalore to Laos via Singapore, if you're caught with chewing gums in Singapore, you will be fined 100,000 Singaporean dollar and 2 years of imprisonment. So please be aware not to carry any kind of chewing gums inside Singapore. And Singapore's, like I said, you cannot have chewing gum with you even on transit through the country. And the second thing that you should never carry with you is tobacco or cigarettes or nicotine. If you're a smoker and if you want to carry that to Singapore, you need prior approvals and you will have to declare and you will have to pay some taxes on it. And I'll put the entire link in the description below. As you know, smoking is not encouraged in Singapore like most of the countries, and smoking isn't illegal in Singapore, but it is highly discouraged. Cigarettes are banned in large number of public areas, and the country has the lowest rate of tobacco consumption in Southeast Asia. This says it all. You will need to declare tobacco products when entering Singapore at the Red Channel Customs. You will also need to pay 2 sets of duty and GST depending upon the volume of tobacco you are carrying. So it is highly recommended not to carry any kind of cigarettes to Singapore. The third thing you should never be carrying is medicines. I know if you are on a medication, you should not be carrying anything worth of 3 months of medication, and some of the items that is being used in the medicines may be banned in Singapore. So it may be legal in India to use that medicine, but if you go to Singapore, it may be banned. So it's highly recommended in terms of medication to declare it upfront and to get prior approvals before traveling to Singapore on their website. All the details in this video will be mentioned in the links in the description below, guys. So you don't have to worry about it. You have to need prior approvals before traveling when it comes to medicines. And also, if you are check all the right boxes, if you intend to bring more than 3 months worth of personal medication, you will need prior approval, which will be mentioned in the link which is given in the description below. And the third thing you should never carry to Singapore or carry in limited quantity is not more than 5 kgs of seafood or processed food. Now when we Indians, when we travel abroad, we tend to carry Indian food, or we tend to carry those masalas or any masalas which is ready made with meat. So if you're carrying more than 5 kgs, or if you're carrying more than 30 eggs, or if you're carrying certain no more than that, or if you're carrying only a handful of fruit and vegetables, it is fine. But if the processed food cannot exceed more than 5 kgs or 5 liters, these regulations are designed for keeping food regulations in Singapore, which is very strict. And the next thing that you should never carry to Singapore, bearing in mind, is fish as a pet. So if you're having fish as a pet, and if you have especially a goldfish or traveling with a parakeet, you intend on traveling to Singapore, you will need several licenses and approvals beforehand. And I highly recommend you and suggest you to go through the detailed guidelines which has been mentioned in the description below. And the next thing that you should never be carrying is copyrighted material. Now if you know what is copyrighted material is, for example, you have some content which is yet to be released, or which is already released, which has been a week which has been released, and you of course go to torrents or go to any third party website and download that particular web series or movie. And if you're caught having that kind of copyrighted material, with you in Singapore, then it will lead to $100,000 Singapore dollars in fine, and it also says imprisonment for up to 5 years. So all the torrent fans, please beware that if you are caught with any copyrighted material, if you're watching an offline movie on Amazon Prime, it's completely fine. On Netflix, it's completely fine because you have already had the membership and subscription. But if you have downloaded anything, it may be anything from torrents, I say anything from torrents, you will have to face heavy penalties or imprisonment, because this is standard Singapore rules, guys. You know, Singapore, like Japan, like Dubai, is one of the most cleanest countries and very advanced countries in terms of day-to-day activities, and they're very strict, and there are less people in Singapore compared to the population ratio, and they follow very strictly, and there is a lot of rules and regulations when traveling to Singapore. So I hope these 6 things were clear, guys. Please be aware. I'll put all of these things in the description as well, all the links and everything. Please be aware, proactive, pragmatic, and you should never be carrying these things with you when you're traveling to Singapore. So I hope this video was very informative. If someone is traveling to Singapore that you know, or within your family or within your friends, please share this video with them. So it'll really help them a lot, especially those smokers and chewing gum lovers. It is not going to help in Singapore. I hope this video was very informative. I'll catch you guys in my next video.